What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and here we're just going to be making a quick video, as you can tell by the title, some small features in Esports Boxing Club that I think would be absolutely awesome. I'm just going to start by saying, obviously, this game to me is just something that I am so excited for. Someone that boxes in real life, and that's how I spend most of my time in UFC, is boxing. I'm so excited for it, and so far it looks like they've smashed it, and the hype really is building there. It doesn't happen often where a game hypes me up like this, where I feel like I'm just so excited for it. This is one of them, and I honestly cannot wait for it, and these guys are going to smash it, regardless of if they have to delay it another few months. I know that when that early access comes out, we're all going to enjoy the replayability of it, and I can guarantee it's going to be super fun to play. So I want to start by saying that they've already done so much with the customization and the roster and everything like that. They've done an absolutely smashing job with, the footwork. Everything they've shown just looks fantastic so far. These are just some extras that I think would be cool. They might already have them in the game, who knows. These are just some extras that I think would be cool, that would make the game just a little bit better, and are things that are missing from games that we like right now, like UFC 4. These are just little features that maybe when you're creating a game just go by the wayside, but things that definitely need to be implemented in the game at some point. I'd also like to add that I have no clue when it comes to programming a game, creating a game. So to me, these are small features in the sense that these are things that often get forgotten, but they are by no means things that I believe will be done in 30 seconds of programming. I'm sure they take a long time, which is why they go by the wayside, but these are small features that often get overlooked in other games. So I was just having a bit of fun writing a little list of things that would be really cool to see, and ended up getting 10 things. I'm not going to waffle for too long about each one, and we're just going to get straight to the point, so let's jump into it. So for starters, we've got the standing 8 count, which would be really cool to see, just when you're getting absolutely hammered or you're absolutely hammering an opponent. The ref jumps in, says to you, that's going to count as a knockdown, I'm afraid. You're just standing there getting hammered, 1, 2, kind of, I think that'd be really cool to, obviously in UFC people ask for a standing TKO, whereas in boxing that can happen, but a standing count is more common. If you're just getting absolutely hammered, people do tend to count it, or even count you out at that point. If you're just standing there getting hammered and they know you can't take the damage, then they end it. But a standing count would definitely be cool if you just, if you take like 30, maybe not 30, 20 to 30 unanswered strikes just against the side of the head, against the body, against the gloves, and you're just getting hammered, in the later rounds especially. It would be cool to see a standing count for sure. Next up, one thing that everyone asks for in all fighting games, that is a doctor's stoppage. If you get a cut really bad here or here, obviously I'm sure that will be a thing. I'm almost certain that will be a thing, because they have spoke about cut men and how important having a good cut man will be. So I'm sure a doctor's stoppage is for sure something they plan on implementing in the game in the future, and I have no doubt that'll be something they include. Otherwise they wouldn't have added so many good cut men, corner men, things like that. So I'm sure that will definitely be in the game, but that's something that I just wanted to add to the list, because people will put it in the comments without realizing they have done their research on cut men and corners and added them into the game. Another cool thing that I would like to see when taking shots to the body or to the head, maybe one big counter shot or just a series of shots, is being dropped to a knee. You just take a knee, like Garcia. When Campbell got caught in the body by Garcia, it wasn't a 10 count and he lost, but he took a knee. Same as when AJ got put down at one point, he fell to a knee as well. It would be definitely cool to see that, instead of just every time falling on your back, falling on your front, falling on your ass. It'd be definitely cool to see someone just drop down to a knee, hands on the ground, a few deep breaths, stand back up, and they're fine. Then there's not really a rush for them to jump up off their ass, just fall down to a knee. I think that'd be quite cool to see, especially if you catch them with like a really nice body shot, and then as they're falling, you catch them over the head and they're falling down to a knee and kind of gas. And I think that'd be a really cool feature to include with, being put on your back, being put on your front, being put on your ass. Being put on a knee would be really cool to see as well. Or being put on 2 knees would be really cool to see as well. Then one thing that I'm gonna say this one here that always seems to be controversial, which I don't understand why people want to fight simulator until something like this happens, and that is flash KOs. You could be winning a fight 11 rounds to 0 in boxing. You could get caught and it could be over. In the UFC, you could be winning a fight 4 rounds to 0. You could get caught and it could be over. It's part of life. If you want to fight simulator, this happens. If I'm in a war with someone 11 rounds and they catch me with a clean counter and it shatters my chin and I can't get back up, I will take that loss. Very happily take that loss, actually. I won't be butthurt at all. When I play this game, I don't plan on being the best. I don't plan on winning all the time. I plan on going in and having fun, having wars, but having entertaining content for you guys. So to see flash knockouts would be super cool, especially because it works both ways. People will bitch about it and be like, oh, it'll always happen to me. No, it won't. If you fight smart, you can flash knock someone out, and it also encourages the people that want to be the best at the game to be smart, to be defensively smart and accurate with their shots, not wasting time. No, you know, pressure fighting, yes, it's definitely a thing, and some fighters can take heavy shots, like the Canelo Triple G fight. Those two took chunks out of each other, but I would love to just see flash knockouts happen at any point. That would make things so much more intense, careers so much more interesting. Not a flash drop, that could also be a thing. You get caught and you get put on your eyes, like, alright, deep breath, is cool, get back up, that's fine. Like, any fight happens, you know. Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, as recent notice. You know, Ruiz caught him good out of nowhere, and he was all over the place, and he couldn't recover. Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell, out of nowhere, couldn't recover. Gervonta Davis and Santa Cruz recently. The fight was back and forth. We know Gervonta Davis has got hands. He took a straight to the head and he thought, okay, I'm going to slip this next one. He moved back. The third one comes. He slipped an uppercut. Santa Cruz was out. He was out cold. And that is a flash knockout. There was no warning. There was no drop. There was no rock. There was no stun. Bang, out cold. That would be a really sick feature to have in this game. And it would be a super, super realistic feature to have in the game as well. When it comes to stoppages, would be your corner throwing the towel. Maybe this could be... I don't know how they would put that in the game, but maybe, you know, if you're getting outstruck 500 to 100, your corner out of nowhere can throw in the towel and say, I've seen enough. Especially in the career mode, which I'll be talking about in the future. I'll make a separate video, like I've said. But I think a corner throwing in the towel would definitely be a cool feature, because, you know, that's not something you're going to be worrying about. You're not even going to be noticing it. And then when you're getting absolutely battered, and then that fight ends, you're going to be like, why? Corner throwing in the towel. It's realistic. I get that. I wouldn't care if you know, that's the way it is. You know, it doesn't happen often, but it happens in big fights. It happens in small fights. It happens wherever. It happens in MMA. It happens in boxing. You know, recently, the Tyson Fury Wilder fight, he corner threw in the towel because he was getting slaughtered. They knew there was no way out. He was not going to land a big shot. There is just a certain momentum you have when you're fighting, when you're just on top of your opponent, and there is nothing they can do. They can hit you with their best shot, and it just feels like you just dodged it, and they feel like they don't hit you. There's just a momentum and a confidence that just comes off you when you're fighting like in that manner, and that would definitely be something I would love to see. One thing as well, it's just a given when it comes to decisions, would be a draw. I'd love to be able to see a game that has draws in. UFC 4 doesn't. I don't think UFC 3 does either. I'm not sure actually. I know for sure UFC 4 doesn't. But that'd definitely be something cool I'd like to see in the game. Them add draws, just because it could happen. You know, 6-6. That's a draw. You know. Just be cool to see, in my opinion. This one's a bit more detailed, and that is broken bones, broken hands. More notably, that happened to Floyd Mayweather. I believe it's one of his classes, his only professional drop. He broke his hand. I believe this knuckle got pushed back, and it was about here. And I believe he got dropped technically because he broke his hand. That count. I mean, that, you know, the knuckle was pushed back. That's got to be broken. I think that would be cool, and I think if that was a feature, you know, if you were to break your hand, or you know, you get a lot of people, they snap like ligaments in their leg during the fight. I think David Haye happened against Tony Bellew, and Gamboa, I believe that happened against Gervonta Davis. You know, obviously, yes, we might notice it, but as an opponent, you might not notice that that's happened to them, especially not if you're not going to drop. If your hand breaks, I think only you should know. I don't think the commentators will go, oh, I think his hand's broken, until, like, you know, say, for example, in MMA, Pettis sat down, he said, I do apologise for the abrupt cut, guys, my mic fell over. Like Pettis said in the UFC fight once, he sat down, he said, my hand is broken, and at that point, the commentators knew, but before then, no one knew that his hand is broken. He just stopped throwing it as often. So I think that would be a cool feature, that only you know your hand is broken, until maybe you can choose to say, I don't know, you wouldn't choose to say it to your corner, but you know what I mean. I think that would be a cool feature, especially in the career mode. You then have to throw it less, and in a online match, for example, or a quick match, if you had a broken hand or something, if you threw it too much, your fighter would eventually not be able to cope with the pain and just take a knee and be counted out, and there would be no way around that, because there's only so much damage you can take to a broken bone. I think that'd be a cool feature. These next two are more based on a customization point of view. Oh, like I've said, the customization they've done already is smashing. Crushed it. I'm fucking blown away, honestly. It makes me so excited to play the game, how much they've done with it. I'm buzzing for it. One thing I'd like to see is each fighter have a variety of shorts that they wear. It's very rare that fighters wear the same short on repeat. like they used to back in the day. For example, one of my favourite fighters, Gervonta Davis, he always has different shorts and he always looks flashy. He's always got different gloves that match his shorts, different shoes. Same with Mayweather, he always does. Obviously, AJ wears a lot of white and gold or white and black, just with a little AJ thing on his waist. Fury obviously always has the Fury and the Gypsy King, but it's always a different colour scheme, mainly green and gold, or green and black, or something like that. You know, it's not like the old school where they would always wear the same white shorts, or Mike Tyson with the same black shorts. I think that would be cool to have each fighter have 2 or 3 different variants of shorts. Just because, you know, I think that make things a little bit more interesting, especially for content creation purposes, for thumbnails and things like that. You could definitely, you know, if you were to fight Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia in a best of 3 against your friend, you wouldn't get the same outlook, because it wouldn't get the same look, because you'd be in different shorts. I don't know, I just think that'd be a cool feature personally. I'm a real customization nerd, and that'd be definitely something I'd be on board for. Even if they wanted me to make all the shorts, I'd definitely do it. And the final one is more of a career point, but I just had to point it out, was it would be cool that if when you're training in your career, sparring and professional, you get to actually see 2 different types of gloves. If you're a heavier man, 18 to 20 ounce gloves, or 16, 18 and 20 ounce gloves for sparring and stuff. And then when you're fighting professionally, 8 to 10 ounce gloves would be really cool to see, depending on what weight class you're in. You know, because then you could, you know, like a lot of professional boxers, they will have the same training gloves. Ryan Garcia especially, he's one I know off the top of my head for sure. He always has them dark blue ones that he trains with, and they're like, reliable to him. And you know, that would definitely be something cool to see. Have a variety of sparring gloves, have a variety of fighting gloves as a professional fighter. You know, especially if the career starts and you're just a bum, you know, you just have a part-time job and you start boxing, you're not going to be able to afford tons of gloves. You know, you can't go and fight in 18-ounce gloves. Your opponent would be like getting hit with pillows. They'd laugh at you. So you at least need 2 types of gloves, one to sparring and one to fighting. You wouldn't be able to use your fighting gloves all the time to train, because they'd be worn down, they'd be fucked, they wouldn't be regulation. So there'd be things like that that would be taken into note in my mind personally. But that's pretty much it for my list, guys. Just a few small features that I think would make ESBC amazing. Already it's going to be fantastic in my eyes. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible to play over and over and over again. I'm really looking forward to it. But I just thought I would make this video, as I just want to get that out and, you know, just tag you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.